Go. It's working properly. Come on, YouTube. Don't mess with me now. It's working right. All right, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. It has been a long week, and it is time for some games. Go. Thumbnail in real quick. Go. Lap, what's up, dude? How are you? You are the first. What's going on, man? What is going on, dude? Oh. All right, we're just getting set up real quick, guys, and then we will go play. It has been a bit. It has been a bit since I've streamed, so I want to apologize for that. As you guys know, life gets really busy. I had all these plans to hop on last night, and then I was just too tired and I went to bed. Eating some hot Cheetos. All right, Blap. Can I be honest with you? I want your honest opinion on this, okay? And you can tell me if you think I'm crazy or whatever. But do you think the hot Cheetos are not hot enough? Like, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad. But if I wanted hot Cheetos, I feel like they should be a little bit hotter, especially for the amount of staining that they put on your fingers. Junior Billy, what's going on? You know what I mean? All right, there we go. They could be hotter? Thank you. Thank you. All right, so it has been, I think, 2 weeks since I've streamed. Let's show you where we've left off so far. So, if we look at our character, that is not our character. I'm still figuring out buttons. We have gear now. When you get to level 10, you can start putting on level 10 gear. We have level 10 gear. It is not great. My goal before December 20th is to get to level 20. Once you get to level 20, you can put on level 20 gear, which is the next highest level. I really want to just grind to get to that point, which will probably be this weekend, and then we can get into PvP. PvP has a lot of XP debt, and because of that, I want to get to where I want to be first before I incur the amount of PvP XP debt that I'm going to get at that point. Oh, dude, the hot Cheeto fries? Yes, the hot Cheeto fries are so much better than the hot Cheetos. I completely agree. So yeah, so we have gear. Gear could be better. We are level 17, as you guys can see up here. There is an XP bar on the bottom. I have a ways to go to get to level 18. We need to get there this weekend. And yeah, so as far as the skill layout goes, I was grinding with Spin to Win. I took Spin to Win off. So we are running Overpower, which is our spammable. We got Form of Ferocity. It's a stance. Cataclysm, which is our AoE hammer. And then we got Lethal Blow, which hits hard as shit. It's our execute. And we got a Gap Closer here in Blitz. Rupture, which is our bleed and our heal debuff. And then we have Battle Cry, Wallop, Form of Celerity, which gives us our more movement speed. And then we're using Blood Fusion and Berserk. I had Berserk on my bar last week. Berserk, it consumes your combat momentum. It gives you 30% more physical power and movement speed, and immunity to disabling effects while active. So it is very, very effective. The only issue is with my leveling setup last week, I was using Whirlwind, which is spin to win. And they have a passive here that you can get, which is Whirlwind Overdrive. After completing the final spin, you may continue spinning at maximum speed while rapidly depleting your momentum. Ends after momentum is fully depleted or after stopping the channel. So this is highly effective for killing lots of mobs. You pull a bunch of mobs into an area, you spin, you win, you kill them all. It is great. You stack that with Blood Fusion, and you get lots of health and lots of mana back. All this is really good. However, using spin to win with Berserk, they both consume momentum, and so either you can keep spinning and winning, or you spin for less amount of time with 30% more damage, and then you stop winning quicker. And so I was having a hard time basically keeping both up at the same time when I was doing it, so I just wasn't using Berserk. This setup is more of a single target based setup, but I have 30% more damage almost all the time with a lot higher uptime. So yeah, that's where we're at. We are going to, looks like Nice has a group going to Tower of Carfin. If they need me, I might go over there. But it looks like they have over 8 in chat, so I'm just under the assumption that they have enough people. So we are going to go level a little bit, and we're going to go try to get to level 20. So yeah, away we go. Also, I'm sure some people will be asking, I am a fighter. I am not a tank. I am running Sword and Shield over 2H. The reason for that is because Sword and Shield just gives you a lot more block mitigation. Your survival is a lot better. I don't have self-healing in the same way that even a tank does. I need mitigation to survive. And in this game, there are no iframes. And so I can't iframe dodge things like you can in Elden Ring or you can in ESO or New World. And so that's the biggest difference. If I have an incoming projectile, it's not a guaranteed dodge within that specific frame. And so mitigating damage through block is really valuable. These are not big enough. How does dodge work? It still works as dodge. Like you get an evasion chance when you dodge. So I would say it's, and I very well could be wrong, guys. Like I have only been playing for a few weekends, but how I've read it, dodge gives you an evasion chance like old school shuffle. So you have a chance to dodge something when you dodge. It's also just a good distance gainer. So if somebody's attacking you or something's coming in with like a whirlwind, you can use it to get distance really quickly. So it's, if I had it my way, I would personally prefer to have like an iframe dodge, especially with how big the stamina bar is. I think the issue that you have with iframes oftentimes is stamina recovery can be too high, and you get infinite dodge roll situations like you can have in Elden Ring or even ESO from like 6 years ago. Like you can have issues where people just dodge roll through everything and they have infinite defenses, and that's an issue. But my stamina bar is on the bottom, on the upper. If you look at the upper left, the red bar is my health, the blue bar is my mana, and then the yellow bar is my stamina bar. I only have 2 dodges. Like I can't abuse dodge currently. So I wouldn't be against an iframe dodge personally, but I don't make the game. I just play it. What's going on, casual player? How are you? We're just heading over to this grind spot here. How's that for volume? Let me know if it's not loud enough. You want to feel immersed in the swings. Press V? Absolutely not. What's going on, Arctic? How are you? I haven't seen you on this weekend. Of course, I wasn't on yesterday, so I haven't seen you on today. You gave up last weekend. Okay. Okay, that's fair. I got a taste of PvP last weekend, and so now I have an itch to participate in a lot more PvP. I just want a few levels first. And I get it. I mean, you've been in Alpha 2 also. You have way more hours than I do. Feels pretty bad. Yeah. Yep. I understand. I hope nobody's taking my grind spot. Probably jumping back at the start of phase 2. Yeah, that makes complete sense to me. There's a lot more exciting things happening for phase 2. Like I'm trying to get to your level of knowledge for phase 2. That's my goal. You have a 4-month head start on me. That's the wrong button. I love what momentum has. I don't have any form on. Well, I hope your side project is going well, dude. Oh, fuck, I got the bear on me. I'm gonna kill this thing real quick. And we're gonna get out of here. The bear sucks. I don't really have much for a level 17 bear. I mean, I could kill it by myself if I didn't have the other thing just hitting me. So I'm just gonna get some distance and rest up real quick. HD convinced you to go back to ESO? Oh, yikes. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you have fun, man. Or I hope you have fun. This bear will not stop. Oh my goodness. What event is it? There we go. Oh, Cypher's come back for the PvP thing. Right. See, there's a caravan going by right here. Why can't I interact with it? I could earlier. There's going to be a ton of devs queuing up to get rolled. So I was I saw that event, and before it happened, like I was like, you know, I think that's just a bad idea for a PvP event. Like, I love that they made a PvP event. I think that's great that they finally did PvP content, but 8v8s just eliminates a lot of people from the PvP player base. And on ESO, where you don't really have much room to eliminate people, that's not the type of content I would have made personally. I would have made something more IC based, more of like a PVX style environment, a new one that you could engage in more often with different varying levels of people. Instead of 8, it could be 20, or it could be 2, or whatever. Like, you open it up to more people that way. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I was like, well, maybe this happens, you know, maybe it's actually okay. And Nice was watching somebody streaming, hopping into 8v8s, and my point was, like, you're going to queue in and it's going to be like high level MMRs, like 4v4v4s, where you're going to be waiting for 30-40 minutes for a queue. And when you wait that long, like, you're going to run across these big groups and you're going to get rolled, and it's going to be annoying. That was my initial analysis. And Nice watched somebody stream, and he's like they literally waited for 40 minutes and then they lagged their ass off in the middle of the BG. And I was like, that's so shitty. Should have just made a new IC. Psych, what's going on, dude? I completely agree. I completely agree. I am the biggest fan of Imperial City. I think Imperial City is one of the best things that they have ever made. And the fact that they continually update it, the fact that they even updated it this last quarter, goes to show you how popular that chapter is. And that is the type of PvP content I would make going forward. It's just so repeatable. It's so good. You could just make an entire new... I mean, I know it's a lot of effort, but the amount of juice they got out of that one DLC, I think would be worth it. I think would really be worth it. I completely agree with you. Splitting the player base's ass, I agree. That's why I was against it. I just didn't think it was a good idea. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I just... The people that you're going to get playing 8v8s are in Cyrodiil. And if they're not in Cyrodiil and they're playing 8v8s... you know, then they're not in Cyrodiil. Like, you just don't have a huge population on ESO to where you can pull a bunch of people to a bunch of different player pools. In my opinion. Would it be better if IC was more popular, and while in IC they'd limited group sizes even more? Sure. So I'm not trying to, like, say IC is still amazing. Like, it's obviously fallen behind. I'm not saying that. But the fact that IC lasted for years, how many DLCs would you say have lasted the amount of time and have gotten the same attention that IC has? I would say none of them. Like, if you go back and you look at any of the other DLCs, you go back and you look at Hrothgar, any of the other PvE ones, they set it and they forget it. Typically, they'll make some adjustments and everything going back to the dungeons and stuff, but IC has continually every couple of years gotten updates and changes, which is unlike, like, their other content. I am going to continually spread the PVX propaganda as much as I can, because PVX is just, it's just the best thing, in my opinion. PvE DLCs are very long lasting. Their dungeons are always very good. I do agree with that. I don't like their open world. I think their open world's too easy, but I understand why they do it that way. They made a PvP zone with bosses that dropped gold mats and maybe a new currency that would allow you to buy dungeon gear. It would always be popular. I agree. I agree. and you could continually re-roll the dungeon gear that you could introduce. Is there any reason I can't hit this? Okay. He just doesn't exist right now. But yeah, I hope the event goes well. It's cool that Cypher's coming back. It's always cool when Cypher goes back to ESO. Black sails. Nope. It's funny to see him react to how ass the combat is. Maybe it's my nostalgia. It very well could be. But I just feel like combat on that game was better 4 or 5 years ago. I don't want to be the old head in this situation. I think there's some fundamental issues that make it feel worse. Wonder how much they paid him. Dude, you'd have to think he's getting 5 figures, right? Like, am I crazy for thinking that he's probably getting like 10 to 20K? Not high 5 figures. I think it's low. But am I crazy for thinking that he's getting somewhere around 10K? I don't know what his numbers are for Fortnite anymore, but you have to think like, what is he making monthly on Fortnite? What would be able to pull him away from Fortnite in order to play ESO? Oh, you were thinking 6 figures. Okay. Okay, I'm not that crazy then. I'm just way undershooting it. These bears are such a pain in the ass sometimes. Who's playing ESO? Not me. Arctic said he's playing ESO. You should throw stones at him. Could easily see it be close to 100K. Okay, fair. It's got to be a number more than what he makes on a weekly basis playing Fortnite. So yeah, I could see it being. I think it's easy 5 figures. You were thinking 250K? Oh, okay. Okay, well, fuck me then. I guess I'm way off. Dude, is all this not going to spawn back? ESO tanks his viewership. It does. That's a good point. That's a good point. Zoss could hire an actual person to work on the combat balance. Just saying. I agree. I agree. I think the money would be better if they spent it on people that like on investing in better PvP balance and PvE balance. Heal back. What level is this? 18? Okay, he's bugged out. Well, we all know who Gilliam is. Yeah, I know they are. I thought they had enough people to raid Carfin. There's no shot they do. All right, I'll post in guild chat real quick. There's no shot they do. Well, we'll see if we get an invite or not. Yeah, I know it's the highest level content. Like I said, I don't know what it entails because I've never been there. Come up here, bear. Oh, I didn't block that. I thought I had enough time to block it. You like the action camera? I do. I think it needs a little bit more honing. There's some things I don't like with range, where if I target something, I can't easily switch to another target. It doesn't like lock very well. I have to fire and then stop firing and then move it over. It's just a little bit clunky on like the range stuff. But for melee, I think it's pretty good. It feels fine. You fixed the guild app submission issues? Cool. Yeah, we've been in a bit of a standstill there on purpose, of course. Check out the difference between the level 17 and 18. Oh, they do need one. Okay. Okay. Where are we at? Where's Tower of Carfen at? I don't even know. Over here? No. Is this Tower of Carfen way over here? I'm assuming it's this. I am all the way across the map, man. Oh no. I am all the way across the map. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, I'm gonna join chat real quick. What's up, dudes? At least I'm in the same zone, right? My goodness. All right, I guess we're doing Carfen. On the way back, I'm gonna try to get my horse again. Every time I've gone back into Lionhold, my horse quest horse quest has been bugged. So I've just been running around. I just stay in one area and level. Keep running. Looks nice. Oh man, it's very pretty. Got somebody over here chopping trees. Go. How's the fighter feeling at higher level? It's so good, man. It took a little bit. So the first levels, like 1 through 10, were really bad. I was grinding and leveling up, and then I'd have to rest a lot because my mana would be so low, and I had no self healing. Like I needed a bard or a cleric to run with. But now that I have Blood Siphon, show you here. Or sorry, not Blood Siphon, Blood Fusion. This return 100% of damage dealt as health and 50% of damage dealt as mana over the next 6 seconds. That is huge. My mana sustain is infinite. My survival is way better. Like, I almost never have to rest now. And the damage is fun. Once you get geared, the damage you have is quite nice. And... oh, 1 second. I also, for you 1vxers out there, for you guys that... I've had a few people ask, like, you know, can you do outnumbered here? I got a 2v7 last Saturday. They were lower levels. They tried to fight me. But yeah, we got a 2v7. It was a good time. And the fighter damage was there. We were doing some damage. Saw some low-level gameplay and I wasn't convinced. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Especially looking at Ashes. The highest level we can get to right now is level 25. And the highest level that will exist in game is level 50. And so a lot of gear that we have, a lot of passives that we'll have, a lot of skills that we'll have don't currently exist. And so what we're seeing is like a very vanilla version of what the final end game will be, in my opinion. It's the comparison I've made is, I'm sure you've seen this, Psych, but way back in like 2014 or 2015, I forget who did the video, but somebody did like a 100-person raid in Cyrodiil where they ran 100 people on horseback through different keeps, and they were running around zerging together to show like how large scale the game is. And you go back and you watch that PvP footage, and it looks nothing like what exists now. Because players weren't good back then, the gear wasn't fully leveled, the skills weren't fully leveled, people didn't have the right optimized layouts, and it just got better with time. All of that is going to come with this game as well. Like, currently we only have archetypes. We don't even have all the archetypes. The archetypes combine with other archetypes to create augments eventually. And so you're going to have augmented skills, and that's how you're going to get changes that way. And we're going to have way more levels. But with what already exists, I think there's a lot of depth to PvP in Alpha 2. Angry Joe, yes, that's who I was thinking of. Yes, I wasn't lying about just there until AOC. I'm having fun, man. I haven't had this much fun in an MMO in over a year, and I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just like, I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited to hop on. I'm excited to go out and grind mobs, find PvP, engage in the areas, and right now is the bare bones version of what exists. Like, there's just going to be so much more. Yeah, you go back and you look at the first few years of ESO. ESO PvP in the first few years does not look like ESO PvP now. People just weren't good. Probably going to buy into the third wave. I think that's a smart call in May. That's what's going to feel most like... But it's going to obviously be the most stable. It's going to have the most content. May is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. Am I streaming on Twitch? I am. I'm streaming on both. I track what you're saying. It looks great, but how long until it dies like every other PVX game? Like every other PVX game? What are we talking about, sir? What are we talking about? how the game lives and dies depends on the developers, just like every other game, in my opinion. I think no matter what the product is, I think the developers end up deciding the fate of the game. And so you could have, like you just said, you can have the best engine, you can have the best aesthetic view, you can have a good story, but if the development team isn't making good improvements, the game isn't long for the world. I completely agree with you there. I will say, in my opinion, everything I've heard over the last 2 years, everything I've seen, all the questions that I have been able to ask the developers themselves, this development team's good, in my opinion. I think they're really good. I think they're a lot more in tune with the player base than other games. So that's just my opinion. Obviously, like, I bought in for a reason. So you have to understand that I'm coming from the perspective of I like what they're doing. And if you don't, that's okay too. New World, of any devs, these devs give me the most hope. They just, like, I think about this, like, I'm a nerd. I'm going to do a video talking about how I'm a nerd this next week. And the video is going to be on population density in MMOs. That's how nerdy the video is going to be. But the thing is most things that I've thought about, like, okay, I hope they get this right. I hope they get this right. Not only have they had discussions on it, typically, they've already, like, had workarounds on how they're going to make that specific issue better. And they've just thought about it on a deeper level than casual gamers have, which is, it's a really good sign. It's a really good sign that they really know what they're talking about and what they're doing. New World, Dark Age of Camelot, Warhammer. I think Dark Age of Camelot was a fine game. Like I said, my PVX experience has been other games. ESO's PVX had a lot more longevity than the vast majority of ESO. Like, if you compare, like, Cyrodiil's technically PVX. Imperial City is PVX. It's not strictly PvP. Both those things are PVX, and Cyrodiil has been on a 10-year run. Like, people are still playing it. And it has not gotten many improvements. The performance is bad. Nothing there is doing very good. I see what you're saying about New World. I think the developers on New World kind of killed it. I don't know if you could classify New World as PVX since you can toggle it off. Like, the toggle on, toggle off, like, you can choose to PVX, but you can also choose not to. And I think that's the tough part. Like, I can't go into Cyrodiil and choose to toggle on or toggle off. You also have other PVX games like Albion, and you guys can, you know, judge whether you want. It's a mobile game. It's got this. It's got this. It's got a very large player base. It does. A lot of people really enjoy playing Albion, and it is a PVX game. So there are plenty. I think there is a player base that exists for people that want to play a PVX style game. They just have to hit it. They have to make a good game. I don't hate what they're doing, but while the devs do a good job, it's the players and their money that determines the success. Well, it's the devs making content that gamers want to play, right? Like that's the point. There is a very large player base. There are like 6 or 7 servers currently full for Alpha 2 right now, and they're 3K per server. If we believe that they're full, which they probably are close to it during primetime hours on the weekends, that's 21,000 players. If you believe that, the number I saw was concurrent players, like active players at any point in time, make up about 10% of the total players engaging in the game. So that means roughly there are 200,000-ish people, somewhere in that range, 150-ish thousand plus for Alpha 2. That's for Alpha 2. There's a lot of people that want to play Alpha 2 currently. With how it's going, I wouldn't be surprised if that number creeps up. I think some people are not interested in an alpha, but I do think that there is a lot of interest in this game. Watching yours nice stream on this game. I'm glad everyone has joined it, but to be fair, I don't know if it's the right type of game for me. That's fair, Hounds. Good to see you, by the way, man. I totally get it. I just spent I spent 4 or 5 straight years in ESO in Imperial City Sewers. Like PVX is my favorite thing. It like just engage like the amount of variability that you can get in an environment where you're fighting ads and all of a sudden somebody jumps on you and tries to gank you, or 10 people are in an area and you know that they have loot. Like all of that, like it's always changing. It's always changing. Cyrodiil, I played Cyrodiil for what, 6-7 years. Technically, I mean, I wouldn't say it's strictly PVX because a lot of the ads are easy to kill, but I mean, technically it is. And the best part about Cyrodiil is no 2 fights were ever the same. Like, it didn't matter if you fought at Brindle all day, every day, you weren't encountering the exact same fight every single time. And that replayability is what's huge, in my opinion. Lack of development kind of killed that game. Still went 10 years. Yeah. I mean, Eve is still going. There are PVX games out there that exist. Some of them aren't MMOs, of course. And a lot of the big MMOs that people will talk about, they'll talk about ArcAge, they'll talk about Lineage, they'll talk about games that existed for a while that went pay to win. And all of that is justified too. But there are still people playing ArcAge on private servers. Like, there are still people playing ArcAge. And it's not supported anymore. Like, they're not doing anything with the game. People just like the game. And so, I don't know. I'm of the belief that, like, going with the mold of what every other game developer does is not a good look. You just try to make the best game possible. And if you make a really good game in a specific avenue, you're going to find your player base of people that like that type of game. And if you make it good enough, you're going to bring in other players that didn't realize that they would like that type of game, but now they do. I think I got to go south. We are skipping a little bit. RuneScape 23 years? Yeah. Dude, people love RuneScape. It's obviously not an MMO, but having a sandbox style game with a lot of replayability, GTA 5. I'm not in any way going to say that Ashes of Creation is going to be GTA 5, but the amount of replayability that you can have with private servers on GTA 5, the amount of different players that you can have, like there's a lot of replayability that's existed there for years because the original base game and the ability to do a bunch of cool things exist. And as long as you have those types of environments where players can create content and the content itself is fun, you're gonna have a good game. All right, let's see where they're at. Yeah, they're right there at the front. Okay. I thought so. It just works. Sometimes that's all you need. You need a player base and you need a game that works. That's all. I didn't think I was going to have as much fun as I did playing Albion. I really enjoyed playing Albion. And the combat in Albion is very... I mean, it's mobile friendly. There's nothing really like super in depth about it, but it was fun. It was a very fun game. And everybody knew what the game was about. They're like, yeah, if you have these safe zones, you have these areas where you can't PvP, and you have other areas that are full loot PVX, and good luck. Sawman, what's up, dude? I gotta join chat. Switch to push to talk here. There we go. F10. Yeah. What's up, guys? Hey, I would have joined you guys sooner, but I wasn't sure how many people you guys needed for this. I don't know. As many as possible. Okay, I'm here. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm coming up the stairs right now. Muscular. I've been working out for like 2 years now, so they're looking pretty good. My shoulders, I have the green Forsaken Blades ones, 51 armor, 13 magic resist. Okay. Cool. What's up, Sawman? How are you? Oh, wow. Check those bad boys out. Why do you want the old ones? Why do you want my hand-me-downs? I would have handed down. Appreciate it. Still leveling. Still leveling. Nice. We had a good grind spot going earlier. Tam and I were cleaning shit up. Cool. Sick. Okay, these shoulders aren't as pretty as the ones I had, but they're a lot better. Let's do this. All right, we're doing Karfin, guys. This is supposed to be the hardest content that currently exists in Alpha 2, and we have a shit ton of people going into this. I might need to throw on my... I might need to throw on my greatsword. We're gonna throw on the greatsword. Let's get as much damage as possible. And if I start dying, then I'll switch back to what I've been running. Sawman, if you need leveling help later, let me know. I am more than happy to help you out. We just have such a gear disparity that I can't help you too much. Group picture? Let's go. I'm gonna sit on the stairs like in second grade when you're in choir class. You got the different levels.
We got 2 clerics in one group, 2 clerics in the other. The AoE cleric heals will still heal everybody in the raid, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Heals or not, it's just passives.
Okay, so I have the Iron Aura passive as I'm sure the other tanks have. I was told that if multiple people in the group have it, it's bugged, but I'm just gonna, I say let's just risk it. So that's gonna be 10% mitigation that we'll always have. So here's the comp stuff that I want us to do. So T, I want you to have the protect skill if you don't already have it. And I'm going to want that protect skill on me. What that's going to do is, since I'm going to be main tank and taking a bulk of the damage, 30% of the damage that I take is going to go to you, which prevents me from being one shot. And obviously you're tanky, so 30% of the damage, the little bit of damage that I take between all my defensive buffs and everything isn't going to be much. The cleric may have to toss you occasional heal, or the bards, but you'll be fine. So just make sure you keep protect on me. I don't know if you need to take the upgrade into protect or if you have it already, but if you don't, redo your skill tree so that you could have that. I don't think as an off tank you need to do the Aegis skill, which I think that's just gonna get us killed or get you killed. I don't think we need. I think the only off tank thing that we need is that protect thing for me. That way we can do a little bit better. Who's the low level tank again? The lower level, I should say. Lix. You have your protect skill on HD. Be careful what you aggro. All tanks, if you want to be able to like use your grapple ability, pull stuff in, do that. As main tank, I'm going to be trying to aggro everything, keep everything in place. One clump for the fighters and all the AoEs and everything like that. But you know, you're still a tank. Feel free to grab what you can. There's going to be situations where there's just too many mobs, too many powerful mobs, and it may be better for you, you know, to go ahead like, okay, I already used my grapple. I got 3 on me. You see 2 to the side. You can go ahead and take that. And then the clerics will notice that. So clerics, keep an eye out for that. What else? We'll be keeping the aggro. Bards, I'm sure you guys already sorted out your songs. I think Spets sorted out the songs.
Yep. Just mana nimble dance.
So your sleeps, your CCs, try to keep mindful. Some of these things we kind of want to save stuns for when they go into those big hitting abilities. Bards, I think your sleep is not on the same CC cooldown as Trip. I could be wrong. I don't think it is. But just be mindful to save our stuff. Obviously, if you see like some range things hitting us, we haven't grabbed aggro, and you want to take that out the fight, you already know, doing the Mariette dance or whatever the hell it's called. That's going to be good. Yeah, doing that's going to be good. So I trust all you guys. Use your own judgment for these situations. And I think that's pretty much it. Common sense stuff, fighters or you melee guys, obviously, be mindful of your positioning. Range guys, you'll have it easy. If you're a lower level, especially if you're a lower level, try not to pull anything. It's so tempting as a DPS, like tank's about to go pull a group, you go ahead and start getting your ranged basic attacks in. Let the tank get the first hit. Just be safe, because all it takes is one turnaround and pop, especially if you're one of our lower levels. So make sure the tank has aggro before you get on there, before you start doing your auto attack rotations and whatnot. Last thing, and this is mainly for the tanks once again, absorption field, this ability, if I can activate it right here, huge damage shield. Only thing is, let's call these out, because once someone gets touched by this, they have 10 seconds of immunity to it. So we want to rotate those per 10 seconds if possible. So make sure we're calling those out when we throw those out. And I think that's pretty much it. There's no guides being watched. We're going through this for the first time. And yeah, and so our special guest here is Crims. He is gonna be our lead. He's done this 30 times. I'm playing. I don't know who the fuck.
Can I flag up and put him in?
I was gonna say, man. Like, what?
Everybody just
I was like, whoa,
Crims.
Who's Crims?
Nah.
Fuck
All
yeah.
right. Let's
Alright,
explore Carfin. You may leave with XP debt, but if we do our stuff, we're gonna at least get some exploring done. Hopefully, get some good level 20 drops for when we hit level 20. And as far as gear drops go, oh, two more things I forgot to do. As far as gear drop rolls, depending on what it is, I mean, we'll be able to work out. Make sure you're actually clicking need on what you really need, like if it's appropriate for your archetype / build. If it's something heavy armor, let's prioritize that to the tanks. Other than that, it's if it's a cool mana ring, if you're a cleric, if you're a bard, whatever, a mage, try to roll for that. Once we get into a spot that's comfy, we may split off into 2 different floors or 2 different sides of the room so that we can actually start getting XP in here, So like 2 different groups of 8 or whatever the case may be. But for now, we need a raid to even get through this area. So yeah.
Are we gonna go through the dock?
We're not leaving until
Yeah.
everybody's level
Nothing.
20, just so you guys know.
Yes.
All right, this way.
All right. We're following Spets.
Who should I put the blessed weapon on? It's 5% increased damage.
You're gonna give it to probably Meat Lugs and Fighter, one of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're gonna be the ones who
They
hit the
both
most and
already
proc
have
it.
it.
I think I've already got one on me.
Yeah,
think
All right, you
Yeah,
guys got
two
markers
now.
in the tank? Good.
Yeah.
I threw it on nice, I guess.
Hey,
All right,
Wildfire.
So
said they're
we
almost
are just going to try and do
Is that-
damage, so I'm
Oh,
going to keep
Ranger.
reference to us.
I'm going to keep the great sword on for
Yeah,
more
I'd
damage.
imagine.
Okay.
Wait.
And
is
then
he
once we get
position?
into it,
Yes,
if
he
it
is.
looks fine, I'm going to switch
Okay.
back
He's
switch back
muted.
to my
I see him
sword
in
board.
Okay. Yeah, let's give him an
let
invite
me
then.
slash
Wildfire.
And, oh, whoops! I pressed enter and it started not doing it. Invite. Scroll back to guild chat.
Those
We're
infected
Zerging,
zombies
fellas.
right here. It's
We're
kinda good that we
Zerging.
stopped here. They do explode on death, so keep that in mind.
There you go.
You want to just
It's
go
like
pull it and
mushrooms.
just so people can see what the debuff looks like for the no healing
that.
debuff?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
please.
I'll speak up. Sorry.
Now get debuff.
So don't kill it.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, don't
What's
smite it
that?
real quick.
well, it's not real, guys. It's not real.
It's a decoy.
How's the beta? I think it's fantastic. I'm having so much
Alright,
fun.
there's more.
I am having a
A lot
blast.
more.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, there's that one. All right.
Oh,
Okay.
See that debuff? I gotta see that thing.
Watch out for the skeleton. He's coughing. Alright, you see how he has that X on him? He can't
See
be
that?
right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't.
And
be
then,
healed.
Nimble Dance, clear it. Now he can be healed.
Oh, that green and red one. Gotcha.
Yep.
And then that green stuff on the floor is a constant dot. So we constantly, as tanks, I'm gonna be constantly moving them out of that the best I can. So you fighters, that got to be up close and personal. Do keep that in mind.
So healers,
Someone's
you gotta,
in that green.
yeah, you gotta watch it. So now this is when Reno, you would have to come up to Cam or whenever when he has the X, then you do Nimble Dance so we can heal. Because it's 25-second cooldown. We'll be rotating between our 2. And clerics do have a purify.
Yep.
Get rid of it too.
Got me.
How much XP
And
are we
he's gonna
getting with 20
explode.
people?
Yep.
Should come
All
back
right.
to left too.
I was about to say.
He still has that symbol.
See what we get
Ace
for
your
XP.
flag.
Somebody raid?
Okay.
Hold on one second. I'm
It's
sorry.
like back in this little corner right here in the water.
Yep. Okay.
We're in the middle of the
Ladies
Tower of
upstairs.
Carpet. I'm sorry, guys. If there's a raid, thank
well,
you.
If you just pulled that, yeah, you just pulled this. We might as well go left.
Oh wait, did we pull that Thaumath thingy?
Yep.
I'll see if I can
Oh.
pull him across.
Yeah, I accidentally teleported
6
over.
with the gifted sub.
Oh,
Thank you, 6.
He went back. All right, we'll just knock this group out.
Good to see you, 6. How are you doing, man? Got tanks.
Play Vomit. Come out of that.
You guys are standing at poison back here.
Doing a playthrough on Elden? Nice, man.
So his Plague Vomit, he does have a telegraph for that on it if you have him targeted.
I'll have to get back in
wonder
and play
if
a little bit
when I
Elden
see him
again.
about to launch that, if I can't trip him out, if I should
You
just back
can.
really far away. Like, I mean, like if my
Life
trip's
steal
on
right now is
cooldown.
what he's using.
Okay, not a ton of experience, but it's not bad.